Testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, all Melville Nation, and welcome to another edition of Tim's Take Live. Oh, it's been a while. It's been a long, busy week. A lot of hours worked. A lot of situations that barely made it possible for me to play my games. But I'm fighting. I'm making it through. Um, and it's been an interesting season, to say the least, for the Lions. So let's dive right in and see how we were. We last left, the Lions were 3-3. They had lost three straight games in the beginning against some really good opponents, the Vikings, the Bears, and the Colts. And then won games against winnable opponents in the Saints, the Jags, and Rams. Um, we started off after the bye week with two losses against the Vikings and the Cowboys, both one possession losses, which always sucks when you're on the wrong side of the coin. But we managed to pull off one possession wins against the Bears and the Packers. So let's recap those games. The Vikings game, turnovers were the name of the game. We blew it on turnovers. We had this game as far as yardage and first downs. I believe we won the time possession too. Yep, time possession. But we just could not. We could not take care of the ball. And every time you don't take care of the ball, it doesn't matter how many yards you get. You might be on the losing end of the score. So 383 yards of offense to 260, 104 rushing to 94, 289 passing to 156, 19 first downs to 13, four turnovers to two. So um, a lot of it was um, just Madden being Madden, but some of it was bad reads. Fargus had a very poor game, 17 for 28, 60%, no touchdowns, two interceptions, 313. I don't know how you throw 313 yards of offense and not get one passing touchdown, but he managed to do that. Um, we held Keith Jackson to 167 for 2-2, um, but it doesn't really matter too much if you're turning over the ball. Chase Brown, 13 carries for 71. Gibbs got going a little bit in this game, 11 for 66. Um, George Watkins, 13 for 28 with two touchdowns. George Watkins is been a pleasant surprise in this team. I acquired him on the practice squad steal from Massimo and the Dolphins, and um, when Blake Corum got hurt, he stepped right in a role, and Blake Corum's healthy, and Blake Corum lost his role now. So Watkins is a beast, and much needed help in the running game. JMO, 6 catches for 166, no touchdowns. Bateman, 3 for 87 on touchdown. Here's a surprising number. Look at Jefferson, 3 for 56 and a touchdown. We held Jefferson to pedestrian numbers, and whenever you hold Jefferson to pedestrian numbers, you put yourself in position to win. We could not get this game done. Um, and that's my own fault on that one. Sacks, tackles, Kenneth Murray Jr., 10 tackles. Hutchinson, 9. Cameron Curl, 9. Bruce Wass, 7. Sacks. Murray had a sack. Spearman had a sack. Jermaine. He's throwing everybody at me for a sack, which is really interesting. Interception. Murray had a pick. Arnold had a pick. Marshall had a pick. Branch and Pace. So, not much more I could say. We did not get this game done. It was a big game, too, because we lost the first game to Big Hurt, so we needed to win the second. So now he owns the tiebreakers against us. We moved on and we played D. Wayne and the Cowboys. It's interesting because the numbers are nearly identical all across the board. 402 yards rushing, about 402 yards of offense for both teams. 131 rushing for D. Wayne, 94 for me. 308 passing to 271. 18 for 16. This even time possession 1851 to 1759. This game was nearly identical, but he made bigger plays, and I made turnovers when they cost me. We had Jack Faber, 17 for 27, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 279. Fargus, 310, 13 for 26, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. There was little things in this game that were the difference. Yes, I threw 2 picks versus his 1. Couple drives. We were driving towards the end zone, and we just could not get the score we needed. We had a crazy fumble in this game that led to a safety. It was an option run that it was pitched to Gibbs, but it was way, way out. I think it showed up as a fumble. I did J.J. McCarthy. A bad pitch. Gibbs got the ball, but he had 3 guys after him in the end zone, and he could not get out of the end zone, so that led to a safety. Chance McMullen, 11 carries for 113. We were holding him in check, and he had 1 big breakout of a 62-yard run. And sometimes that's all you need, and all of a sudden he's gone. Jahmyr Gibbs get going lately, 12 for 72. Nice to see him get. George Watkins, 7 for 26, another 2-touchdown game. So nice to see him starting to rack up touchdowns. Jamo, 3 for 144 and a touchdown. He did a very good job spreading the ball to Lamb and Fletcher. Carlos Underwood has been quietly emerging from this team. A rookie that I did not have on my radar to draft, and it was auto-drafted for me, is actually producing numbers and been a very solid, reliable 4th receiver. Actually, maybe a 3rd receiver because Douglas isn't getting the ball as much anymore. But very solid. We did lose Laporta early in this game, and I was talking to D. Wayne after the game, and from both our aspects, that game, that injury really turned the tone on a lot of things. Because one, I couldn't target my tight ends because the guys behind them aren't as efficient as Laporta, and allowed D. Wayne to focus more on my receivers. So that was definitely a big moment of the game after he went down. Thankfully, it was only for 1 week. 8 tackles for Bolton, 8 for Bell. Tackles for loss. A bunch of people had tackled for loss. Sacks. Hutchinson had a sack. Lawrence had a sack. Sparks. Not even going to try to say that guy's name. Parsons. 2 picks for Diggs, one for Ross. So it was the little things in this game that made the difference. And whenever we were down 16-13 a half against Dean Wayne, you got to feel pretty good. We opened up in this third quarter, we let him score. Um, there's several moments in the game that if we capitalized, we did this different, if we did that different, maybe the outcome's a different outcome. But very good game, though. I can't complain. We were in the game the whole entire way. I left there not feeling down, but confident that we competed against one of the big boys in OMFL. Uh, Now on to a game that really boosted the confidence. Everybody knows Colin is a killer in this cycle. One of the best, and he owns the NFC North. I will admit he owns it, um, even though we're trying to take it back. This game was a crazy. If you look at the stats in this game, you would not look at the outcome and think different. 406 yards offense to 260. Colin beat me. 87 rushing yards to 48. 319 to 212. 24-12, a 2-to-1 first down ratio. Time possession 21-7 to 14-40. Every stat goes towards Colin except one, the turnovers. The turnovers were 5-2. And obviously the turnovers were huge in this game. There were several drives in this game where he was driving with the ball, and I couldn't stop him. And then a costly turnover, one turnover that happened right before halftime that he was attempting to drive, and um, I believe it was 14-14 at the time. So he was going looking for the go-ahead score, and it was picked off by Deontay Scott and taken to the house. So all of a sudden it's 21-14. So Fargus, 11 for 17, 212, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Williams, 22 for 37, 331, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. DeAndre Swift, 15 carries for 43 and a touchdown. Gibbs, 10 for 38 and a touchdown. Watkins, 7 for 14 with another touchdown. Um, Cole Kmet led the Bears with 6 catches for 127. Jamo, 3 for 103. McConkey, 6 for 66. Johnson, 3 for 61 and a touchdown. I like the numbers we did on Dunes. We especially targeted a Dunes with him missing Watts. It was a very big factor, and I think that's part of the reason why Collins a little bit of downward spiral. When you have two superstar receivers on the field, it's hard to know which one to cover. But when one goes down, obviously now you could spend a lot of your time and focus on Dunes, and we shut him down in the game. Let's see here. Tackles. Phillips led the way with tackles, 9, 1 for loss. Kirby, 7, 1 for loss. All my big players were making tackles, but because they're all in the field all the time. Marquise Thomas with a sack, Hutchinson with a sack. 2 picks by Bruce Ross, 1 by Deontay Scott, 1 by Osgood, 1 by Durham. Like I said, this game was turnovers killed him. And we held on to win the game. We next played Priest and the Green Bay Packers. Whenever you play Priest, you're expecting a crazy game, and hard to know how the outcome goes. This game was an offense explosion. Um, 469 yards of offense to 430, 142 yards of rushing to 122. Hey, remember when I said I couldn't run the ball? I might have figured some things out. 327 passing yards to 308, 25 first downs to 18. Possession 2207 to 1347. 3 turnovers squared to 2. Um, this game had everything you wanted. There was a lot of turnovers, but both of us didn't really take care of the ball as well as we wanted to. But we both were able to score at will, and it feels like the defense didn't show up unless they were picking off the pass or getting a fumble. Manning 13 for 24, 308, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Fargas 334, 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 17 for 28. George Watkins maybe ahead of a breakout game, 17 carries for 89 and a touchdown. Stark 12 for 78. I'm happy holding Stark to those numbers. A great running back like that. Gibbs 12.55 for 1 touchdown. So obviously the running game between what Watkins and Gibbs is working. JMO 5 for 189. Kaufman 3 for 102 and a touch. Christian Watson got a touchdown. Bone had a touchdown. Even Underwood scored a touchdown. Everybody was getting touchdowns this game. McKinney 9 tackles. Sparks 9. Coin 9. Stafford 6. Phillips 6. Only 1 sack, and that was a half sack for Bosa and Van Ness. McKinney got a pick. Alexander got a pick. Joseph got a pick. Ross got a pick. Bigsby got a pick. But the way this game goes, you would it was 10-10 with 2 minutes left to go in halftime, before halftime. And Priest scored the touchdown to go ahead with 1:15. Then I scored the touchdown with 49 seconds to go before half. Then he scored a go-ahead touchdown with 20 seconds left to go. And then I, for the hell of it, just threw it deep, got JMO deep, and led to a score with 6 seconds left. So the end of the first half was one of the most insane halftime displays I've ever seen. It was 24-24 at halftime. There was moments he could have went ahead, especially in the fourth quarter. I think 3 of the fourth down conversions were in the fourth quarter, 2 on the last drive, where I knew both situations were 4th and 1. We had it, and we were able to punch it in and get the first down. So to have the running game back and able to rely on and able to do that, that's huge. That's huge for us going forward. Speaking of going forward, I play Houston, Roger, and the Texans today. Not going to be easy task. Roger has a team playing really good right now, and good to see him being a playoff team. So this is going to be a real. Oh, it's Thanksgiving Day too. Cool. We got a Thanksgiving Day game here, so should be a lot of fun. We play Priest and the Packers again, followed by Twinkie and the Eagles, Maniac and the Bills, Trey and the Commanders, Kobe and the Titans, and Bill and the Giants. The stretch is winnable. There's a lot of games ahead that we can win and make a push for the playoffs. We put ourselves in a good position to make a run. And he should be in the mix. Cowboys are sitting at first in the NFC with 9-1. Seahawks are 9-1. Bird and the Panthers are 8-2. There's big hurt in the Vikings 7-3. The way that Collins on a downward spiral right now, this could be the Vikings' year to win the division. Here's Nate and the Saints. Good to see him fighting for a playoff spot. I hope he gets it, not at the expense of the Lions, though. Joker and the Cardinals is right here, right in position to make the playoffs. Trey and the Commanders are 6-6, right in front of us. But we had to have a big, crucial matchup against him later on this year. Lions are here. We are at 5-5. Flurry and the Falcons are 4-6. It's strange to see some good users from the past, and D Money 4-7, and Kevin at 4-7 with the Bucks. So we got our. It's ours to lose to go to the playoffs. Um, we keep winning, we should make the playoffs. So we can't have any slip ups, and we have to win the games we should win. So that's pretty much all I have. I got to play Roger and the Texans later on this morning, so hopefully everybody tunes into that one. It should be a fun shootout game. Um, I got to practice and figure out how the hell am I going to stop DeMarco, Brandon DeMarco, because I think that he's going to go down in the Hall of Fame as one of the best receivers ever. He really is. The size, the speed, the way that Rodgers been able to utilize him. Um, he's definitely in the Hall, and uh, one of the most dominant receivers I think any of us have ever seen. So um, I'm just hoping we get to Joe Burrow before he could lose the ball. But should be an interesting game. Looking forward to it. So, and that's pretty much it. Everybody have a great day, and get your games in. Um, let's finish the season strong.